Good evening and welcome to Your Call. Tonight's guest is BJP MP Varun Gandhi, the only MP from a mainstream party to have gone to Ramlila Maidan to openly support Anna Hazare. Varun Gandhi, thank you so much for joining me tonight. We have a breakthrough finally. Anna Hazare has called off his fast. The government is ready to discuss the Lokpal Bill, all the three versions of the bill in Parliament. Do you think that this is the best solution at the moment?
I think it's probably one of the best possible solutions that could have come out of this. I don't think anybody wanted his health to get any worse. And I don't think anybody thought that a perfect solution could be reached. And so in the intermediate solutions, I think this was the best possible thing that could have been worked out. What's
interesting is that it seems to have become the politicians versus the people of India. Why has that happened? Do you think many politicians are uncomfortable about that? Or do they feel that this two sides, or this divide as it is, has been portrayed wrongly?
No, I think that the politicians have also in some senses got it wrong this time. Because when I go to Parliament, a lot of parliamentarians in private conversation talk about the fact that they haven't been invited to the Ramlila Maidan, that they haven't been asked to be part of this movement. I don't think that people realize that this is our movement. This is not Anna Hazare's and Dr. Kiran Bedi's movement. This is the movement for the next generation, for the India of tomorrow, for the rebuilding of systemic change. So it's all of our movement. So I think that, you know, people have understood this wrongly and have let it affect their egos. When in fact, you know, when I went to the Ramlila Maidan, I was a bit frightened, to be honest, because
you weren't invited.
No, I wasn't invited, and I was a bit frightened because I thought, you know, I hope I don't get lynched when I go there or something. But when I went there, the thousands and thousands of people that were there were extremely gracious, big-hearted, as Indians are, and welcoming, and they just said that, you know, we're delighted that you've come, and we want all the MPs to come, and we want all the, you know, political figures to take part. And, you know, yeah, it is an all-encompassing movement, but it hasn't been portrayed as such.
You don't see a contradiction there, because the kind of language we've been seeing being used by certain members of Team Anna, where basically they've said things like, you know, politicians are eating the people's money, politicians are corrupt. You've seen the whole call to gherao MPs' houses, to gherao the Prime Minister's houses. You don't think that it does set it to a confrontation path between politicians and Anna Hazare's team?
It may do, but we've got to always carefully look at the larger picture, which is that if tomorrow we can have systems of accountability and transparency put in place, whereby powerful people are not allowed to get away with exactly whatever they want, then I think it's worth the price of just listening to some people who are also, perhaps, if I may be a little unkind, catering to the mob.
You're saying that includes certain leaders of Team Anna?
Look, at the end of the day, a lot of people get caught up in the moment. So let's say there's 100,000 people cheering and waving. It's possible that they think that there is some capital to be gained out of that movement. I think the way to look at this, both as a young person and as a political person, is that there's no politics to be played here. This is not an anti-government protest. It's an anti-corruption protest. It's not an anti-UPA or anti-politician protest. When I went there, the interesting thing that I realized after I had gone there is that a lot of people who are sitting there don't know anything about the Lokpal Bill. They're not there for the Lokpal Bill. There is a basket of issues that has been tied in together. Some people are there because of the price rise. Some people are there because their child couldn't get a job because some big man put his son there, you know, who was a, you know, a failed lout instead. Some people are there because they feel that there's no accountability. Some people are there because of corruption. A lot of people don't understand what the Lokpal Bill is, but you know what? I think that's fine. Due to this 74-year-old man's courage, the strength of his truth, his personal convictions, a generation of India that was apathetic, that was happy to be silent, passive observers, have deemed themselves powerful enough to become agents of change. Right? I'm one of those people. I wasn't involved in any anti-corruption or RTI activism or anything like that. But when I heard Shri Hazare, and when I understood exactly what was happening with our country, after reading a lot of literature, after studying the government bill, the Hazare bill, Dr. Roy's bill, and a lot of these people, I then realized that something needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. And we need to get involved.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.